Listen. When I really get it, there is this being. His name is God. He's not conflicted within himself. He doesn't feel pressure to live up to people's expectation. He doesn't feel like he always has to be doing the God thing to impress people. He enjoys being who he is. And so everything he does is touched by this sense of self-acceptance and joy. And when I see that, I go, wow, that's incredible. I'd like to be like that myself. Do you see? The impulse to worship God is a natural impulse when we see what a remarkable being he is compared to all the rest of us. God's great character makes him singular and alone. There's no one like him. God's wonderful works are special because he's special. God alone is God. You see, there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. God is alone but not lonely because he's not alienated from himself. He enjoys his own company. When I am alone and lonely, it's because I am alienated from myself and I don't enjoy being the person God created me to be. Or I don't enjoy the person that I messed up. How about this? God is eternally self-fulfilled and self-fulfilling. I know I've heard these sermons. God created us because he wanted company. You show me one verse that says God made this mess because he wanted company. If God wanted company, he could have done a lot better than this. I'll tell you why God created you. The very first verse of the Bible says, he created you because he's creative, and that's just what creative people do. They create stuff. God didn't create us because he was lonely. He created us because he's creative. And look around and see how creative he really is. It's God being God. Do you see? He is self-fulfilled. He enjoys creating. The way an artist enjoys painting, God enjoys creating you. The way the musician enjoys playing a great piece of music, God enjoys your life. He's creative. He's self-fulfilled and self-fulfilling. It's incredible. We are attracted to God and feel the impulse to worship him because we get touched by his healthy sense of self. This is incredible. I don't worship God because it's my job. I'm done with that nonsense. I worship God because he is this healthy, beautiful being, and I like who he is, and I like being around him, and I want to be more like him. Do you see? And guess what? It turns out that the same thing is true when people follow God's example. Verses 11 and 12. Teach me your way, O Lord. All right, this is hugely important. I don't want to take this teach me your way and jerk it out of the context and make it mean some New Testament idea. Here's what it means. Teach me your way. What way? The way that you can be unique and enjoy your uniqueness. The way that you delight and thrive in being who you are, and delighting and thriving, all your works have a touch to them. Teach me your way. Help me to learn to be like you in this contextual meaning. That I may walk in your truth. Unite my heart to fear your name. I give thanks to you, O Lord my God, with my whole heart, and I will glorify your name forever. All right. Here are the key ideas. 1, I become lonely in aloneness when I become alienated from my true self and stop being like the God who created me. You see? I am created to exist in the image of God. Part of that means accepting my uniqueness enjoying my uniqueness and letting my uniqueness touch everything I do. 2, I learn to be alone in my uniqueness by following God's example, not the example of people. Now, here's part of the problem. Please listen to this. This is huge. There are people who get over being uncomfortable with their uniqueness. And then they get this God image where they think everybody should be like them. Hey, I'm comfortable being me, and you should be comfortable being me too. Anybody been to church like that? Hey, I got this all figured out, and if you'd just be like me, you'd have it all figured out too. Come up with hideous dress codes because that's what the person who's leading the whole thing enjoys dressing like. So why wouldn't you enjoy dressing like that? Hideous dietary rules because, hey, these dietary rules work for me, and why wouldn't you enjoy them too? Hey, look, moms, your kids don't always have the same taste you have. Maybe they really don't like spinach. Maybe they really don't like it. Maybe it doesn't taste the same to them as it tastes to you. I hate spinach. I'd rather lick the bottom of my shoe. Your kids won't starve to death because they didn't eat their spinach. I'm doing just fine, and my mom couldn't cram it down my throat. Listen, I learned to respect my uniqueness by respecting God's uniqueness. Now, this is huge. This is what the whole sermon is about right here. If I can get this part right, you'll be glad you came to church today. Listen, I get it right when I respect God for his uniqueness and let him do his unique work in my life. I get it wrong when I defraud God of his uniqueness and I say, our relationship depends on you doing what I want, God. Some of you think prayer is a way to manipulate God to do it your way. It's not. And you're going to always be disappointed. Listen, here's where it really works. I look up to God and say, he's unique. He's special. He enjoys being that. And he expresses his uniqueness and the singularness of his character in everything he does. And I'm at my best when I'm trying to understand and appreciate the unique things he's doing, even if they're not what I want. Now look at how this works. Because God turns right back around and says to us, I enjoy you most when you're being unique. God doesn't have the Billy Graham machine that we all have to walk into, get stamped into Billy Graham's image, and come out the other side. In fact, that makes him sick. God says he finds his greatest delight in us when we accept our uniqueness, when we accept our special created divine gift, and that specialness about who we are touches everything we do. It touches our home, it touches our business, our workplace, our church, our friendships. God looks at that and goes, yes. This is the core idea of Christianity. God is unique and enjoys being unique, and he expresses himself in unique works. And then God creates us in his image. He redeems us through Jesus Christ, and he says, now stop conforming to some other idea. Learn who you are, be that special person, and express that specialness of who you are in everything. And refuse to be conformed by the other nonsense.